So, good afternoon to one and all watching. I'm Mitali Dikshit. I'm a UI UX designer at DesCo, design company at NIT Patna, and I'll be beginning with the session of ideas into interfaces, deep dive into FigmaUniverse. Now, as the name suggests, ideas into interfaces. So, what is an interface? Interface is the only part of a software that you can interact with. Users are not more concerned about the complicated codes. The only thing that matters to them is the interface, how good it looks, or how easy it is to use. So, in this session, we'll be learning about how to develop good ideas and convert them into such interfaces. So, let's begin. So, this is what we'll be covering in the session. What is UI design? What is UX design? Then some design principles. Then we'll be studying about some famous businesses and startups. Then introduction to Figma. There will also be an hands-on session. And at last, we'll be discussing about the job opportunities and some freelancing options. So let's begin. Now, before we start, you should know that why this workshop is for you. So if you want to make a career as a UI UX designer, then this is a very introductory, beginner-friendly workshop, and it will also have a hands-on session for you. Next, now, if you are a student and you take part in hackathons, so you know that every team consists of a UI UX designer. And what makes your solution stand out from the crowd is the design part of your solution. So this is very important. If you're looking for non-coding career options, so after developers, the UI UX designer is the most sorted job out there right now. Also, if you want to work in marketing, product development, etc., then UX in itself is a very big field. So let's begin. Now, what is UI design? UI stands for user interface. It refers to the visual elements of a product or digital experience. So in easy words, it is the part of the software that you interact with, that you can touch or use. So this is how the UIs of applications or websites look like. Now then, what is UX design? So UX design focuses on the interaction part between the humans and the services such as websites and applications. Now, where is this experience part? So UX design focuses not only on the interaction, but no, there should be a sense of completion or satisfaction when you use a website or a software. So UX design is what focuses on it. So let's take some examples of a user experience. Now, as you can see, there are two pop-ups of "Are you sure?" Now, this pop-up comes across our screen so many times when you fill a form, when you select a choice. And both are very similar. We have two different buttons of different colors, and it's clearly mentioned which is a yes and which is a no. But still, whenever this comes on our screen, we pause for a few seconds, right, to see where do we want to click. So which one do you think is better for you? Which one do you think is more easier to find? Obviously the right one. Why? Because we are highlighting the more important part. We want to find yes, right? So we are using a higher contrast, a different color for yes, which will be directing the user to easily find it. So this is more user friendly. Let's see another example for user experience. Now, these are the two most famous social media platforms. One is WhatsApp on the left hand side, and another is Instagram. So we know the deleting feature, right? So which deleting feature is better, on WhatsApp or on Instagram? Instagram. Why? As you can see in the left hand side, whenever we delete a message on WhatsApp, it displays that you deleted this message. Do we want that? No, we don't want that. Whereas in Instagram, when you delete a message, it completely disappears from the UI. So this gives a better user experience to the users. Now, we studied about what is UI design and what is UX design, but how can it impact on the success or failure of your business? So these are the three important factors. First is design and layout. So an appealing and well-structured design gives you a better user engagement, and it helps users to navigate easily through your software. Second is usability and functionality. Now, there are many applications which have a very good design, but they're not at all functional. So we don't want such a design. An intuitive and a functional UI improves user experience, and it makes the users stay on your application. Third is consistency and branding. So we want to develop a design which aligns with the brand identity, with the theme, with the concept, so that it can create trust and brand recognition among the users. So before discussing about these businesses, let's study about what is actually a good design. So these are some basic design principles: alignment, hierarchy, contrast, spacing, balance, and color. So we'll study about alignment first. So alignment is one of the most important design principle. Alignment basically means the order of arrangement of the different elements that you have. So as you can see, there are two alignment types of alignment. The left has a center alignment, whereas on the right hand side they have a left alignment. Now, which one do you think has a cleaner UI? You can easily read the content. The right hand side. Why? So what happens is that many a times users, they use a center alignment, but when we want to create a more complex design, then this does not work, because we see in the left hand side we are creating more rags means the white empty spaces that are there. So they actually break our reading pattern, whereas on the left hand side we are having a cleaner order of the elements. So that alignment is better. Next is hierarchy. So when you have multiple visual elements in your design, so what happens is that users, they don't they don't read your web page, they scan it. So when they are scanning it, so we want to give them some direction, that which one they should focus first, then what should be the second important thing, and what should be the least important thing. So as you can see, there are two types of hierarchies on the left hand side and the right hand side. So this is a profile page, right? So what is the most important thing when you want to look at profile of someone? Their name, right? So in the left hand side, you can see that first you are focusing on the profile photo of that person. You don't want to see that. Whereas on the right hand side, the name, which is the more important thing, it is given a higher, it is at the higher side. So this is actually helping us to read the content. There are various ways in which you can give a better hierarchy, like using different size, using different colors, contrast, or by giving the spaces. Next is contrast. So contrast is also another important design principle. So what happens is, now this contrast, we saw it in the yes or no pop-up that we saw. It is similar. So what happens is, when you have two design elements which are quite opposite to each other, like black and white or modern and traditional, so you use a higher contrast in those elements which are more important for your design, so that it can help the viewers, as you can see in those the elements that are present. Next is spacing. Now, spacing is also very important. Spacing is basically means arranging all the empty spaces that are there, other than the elements. So, as you can see, there are two different types of spacings are there. On the left hand side, you see that it is very congested. They are using less negative space, whereas on the right hand side, we are separating the elements well. There is quite good spacing. So which one do you think is more pleasing to the eye, more cleaner? The right one. So what happens is that when you use less negative space, it gives a cheaper look. Whereas when you use more spacing between the elements, it gives a cleaner, a minimal look, which is very aesthetic, appealing to us. So let's see another example. This is the UI of an application. So you can see we are using the white space so well that it is creating some elegance in the design. Now you must have seen the UI of Google as well. So how well they are using the concept of white spacing. right? So it gives a simplicity and elegance in our design. Next is balance. Now balance does not necessarily means that all the elements, they need to be of same size or they need to be very symmetrical, but rather means balancing of elements mean they should be in such a way that the viewers, they can easily travel through the content on the right manner. As you can see that on the left hand side, it's there is no balance among all the elements, they are all together, whereas on the right hand side they are very they are very even on both the sides and it's very balanced. Next, color. Now, according to me, color is, I think, the most important design principle, because now it's a fact that it takes around 90 seconds for a user to form an opinion about your product, about your software product, and most of it is based on the color. So, and most of the trillion-dollar companies, they use this concept of color to attract more audience. So, as you can see that there are these two designs are there. On the left hand side, they're using these darker colors and similar colors for both login, sign up, and forgot password. But do they have the same meaning? No. Whereas on the right hand side, we're using different colors to differentiate between the different elements. And there is also another fact that colors are related to human emotions. All types of colors are related to different emotions. For example, blue color. Blue color makes people feel calm or trusting. You can see blue color is used in Google Pay, right? So what happens? It builds a trust among the users. Whereas similarly, red can rile up emotions and get people to take actions. Uh, so you can see all types of colors, they have an emotion attached to them. There's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, pink, purple, brown, black, white as well. Now, white, as we discussed about spacing, right? So, white spacing is also what is it? White color, right? So, that white color is what adds cleanliness or simplicity in your design. So we discussed about what is a good design, what is a bad design, and how it can affect your business or startup. So let's discuss about some of these startups and businesses. Google, everybody knows about Google. We use it in our daily lives. So you can see its UI, it's so clean. They are using the concept of white spacing. They are using neutral colors. And if you have seen the earlier, what happened that Yahoo was considered as the best search engine, better than Google. But then what happened is, if you see the older design of Yahoo, you will see that it was so congested, everything. There was a searching option, and along with that, there were news, there were advertisements. So we don't want that. If you see this UI, it's very clean. What we want to search something. So it's very user friendly and convenient. Second is Spotify. Now, Spotify, I actually love the UI and user experience that Spotify provides us. You can see that the color combinations, it is well in alignment with the brand colors, with the brand theme. One of the things that Spotify mainly uses is user personalization. So you have seen, while using Spotify, you see that you get personalized playlists, you get daily mixes. If you see the homepage of Spotify, then there is, you can easily navigate to what you want. If you want to search a song, it's very clear. All the navigations are very clear. So this is what makes it the most famous music streaming platform. And also, if you can compare it with the UIs of JioSaavn, Hangama, and there are many other, then this is what makes it stand out from them. Another case study is Netflix. What are the main colors that Netflix uses? Red, black, white. These are the three main basic colors that Netflix uses. What do you think? I personally think that Prime Video, if you compare Prime Video and Netflix, then for streaming movies and series, then I think Netflix has a better UI. Why? Because, for example, when you enter a movie theater, right? So, what are the colors that you see around yourself? Red. The seats are red. There's a screen, it's the ceiling is white and the screen is black. So Netflix has used these three colors to give the same experience to the users. So you understand how these concepts are being utilized by these such big companies. And these are some, if you look at all these companies that I've mentioned, if you google their older designs, actually many of them they have changed their designs now, but their bad design was the only reason for their failures. So there are some I've mentioned, it's MySpace, Yahoo, as I discussed, MySpace is there. So, and the only reason was, like, in MySpace and mine, it has a confusing design. In Yahoo, it had a frustrating user experience. In MySpace, it had a lack of visual appeal. So these were the case studies. So now, how can we make the kind of user interface that we require? So now over to my teammate Arif. He'll be taking the hands-on session and helping you with that.
So hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Arif, and I am a UI UX designer at official design company of NIT Patna, DesCo. So I hope you got a very well idea about what is the basic difference between a UI and UX. So basic idea is very enough to make a user interface. I am going to make a to had a hands-on session on Figma, such that you can have a basic idea about what is the tools required, and everything, every elements which is required for you to make a perfect UI. So making a UI and giving a best user experience is the, I think, the proper step to make the UI. So first of all, before providing user experience, we should know how to provide a best user interface. So I think best user interface can be provided by uh, can be provided by having a basic idea about the elements that we have discussed, about the colors, fonts, spacing, and many more things that you have got. So where we will make the UI. So for making the UI, we have many tools. Uh, from my perspective, the best tool which is required to make a best UI is Figma. I hope you have Figma, and I have given a link in the description in the chat of Figma. And another link that I have provided is the resource file which is required for you to give background and some of the pictures that I have provided in the Google Drive link. So first of all, open your Figma. I hope everyone opened it. When you open Figma, you have a the first interface that you look is this. When you click on the text icon, t icon, you will have another portion, this text option. So I have divided the UI of Figma in some smaller parts. The first part contains the basic tools, every tools I think are present here. And you can make a professional UI by making only these tools. So this is the tools option, and the another option, the another portion at the right hand side that I've marked is the alignment option. Here you can align the objects such as center align, right align, left align. uh, Below it we have a corner radius. For example, if you see the red mark I have provided is a rectangle, and the rectangle have sharp corners. So to provide a curve, we will use a corner radius by putting some magnitude of the radius. We can customize the corner radius. So below it we have the text options. In the text options, we have many things that you have learned. I think many of them you have learned about uh, font size, font style, font weight. and font alignment. We have many options: underlining, making it italic, bold, many things. We will discuss about it on the hands-on session when we will make a portfolio website. So below it we have a layer option. In the layer option we have a fill and stroke. uh, fill means such that you have some elements such as a rectangle, square, and any elements you have. So we can provide a fill color option, fill color on that. Below the fill we have a stroke. For example, you have a rectangle and we have to provide a outline around it, so we will provide a stroke simply. And below rectangle, below stroke option, we will see the effects and export option. We will discuss it about. Now you have these tools. Don't learn about these tools when we will make a UI of a portfolio. You will automatically get an idea about how to use them. But you should remember these plugins. These are the most important plugins that you will be required for making a UI. The most important plugin that you will use in your designing journey is Unsplash. Unsplash, what is first of all, the one who don't know what is plugins, so plugins are the add-on softwares in the program. For example, we have Figma. uh, in Figma, when we have to use some other softwares for enhancing and optimizing the UI of UI which we are making, we will use some external tools. The external tools may or may not be developed by Figma, but you can use as a plugin in Figma. So we have Unsplash material design icon. What is Unsplash uses? Unsplash provide you a wide variety of images, very high resolution images, directly into your Figma. The material design icon, in the journey of making a UI, uh, you may have to use some important icons. The icons that you can import the icons from directly downloading it from Google. And the easiest way to use the icons is using a plugin called there are many plugins, but the most easiest plugin is material design icon. So the another plugin we have brand fetch. In the brand fetch, for example, you have to use the logo of Google, LinkedIn, and many logos and colors. The color palette they are using directly into your Figma. We can use brand fetch. We will use it. UI gradient, for example, you have to apply a gradient on a particular element. You can directly import the pre-developed gradients from into the Figma, or we can also make the gradients by using some tools. Then we have a content reel. The What does the content reel do? Content reel, for example, you are making a UI and you are focusing on a particular area uh, where you have to give a sample name, sample images, or sample text. Then we can use content reel. We will use it. Table generator and morph. Table generator, what does table generator do? Table generator only generates the table. You don't have to make a new table. You can directly generate from this plugin. And in morph, morph provides some external effects to your elements. For example, you have to provide a glassy effect, you have to provide a morphism, you have to provide a neon effect on an element, so you can directly use it from plugin. So we will now making a UI of a portfolio website. So this is the UI. For here I have provided a link. On that link I have provided some images which we are using on the background. For example, these are the images we will be using. Now we will directly jump to Figma. So first of all, I have to log in it on Figma. It's my phone. When I will be logged in, I will start making the UI. So now, for making a UI, you must have to select a frame. What does a frame do? For example, I have selected a frame here. On the tools option, you will see a hashtag sign, hashtag like sign. Click on it and select frame. On the right hand side, you will see many frames of many different devices. For example, if you are making a UI on the phone, you can simply select a frame of phone, tablet, desktop, or you are making a UI for watch. You can directly select the UI, select the frame and use it. For example, I am going to make a UI on for a MacBook Pro 16-inch laptop. So now here you can see the size of this frame is very larger. So to make the same dimension, we will click on the frame, and here we adjust size. First of all, we see the size. What is the size? Just type the size. Now the height and the width of the frame is adjusted. Now what is the difference between a frame and a element which we are using? For example, these are the elements. We have many shapes, such as rectangle, ellipse means you can here use circle, and many things. What is the basic difference between frame and the illustrations that we are using? So frame, what does frame do? Frame actually holds your design. For example, if you are making a UI on this rectangle. For example, I'm going to make a UI on this rectangle. So when you move the rectangle, the element that you put it on the element will not be in a proper manner. For example, I make the UI on this frame, and when we move this frame, the alignment, the margin, and everything will be preserved. So first of all, select the frame and adjust the size that I have provided. Select the size of MacBook Pro 16-inch, and the height I have given it is 4590 pixels. Now I hope you have imported all your images on the Figma file. To import the images, simply drag and drop the image. On directly into the Figma file. It will be imported. So now what we are going to do is putting the image on the. For example, if you are having an image like this, so simply drag and drop the image into the frame. Ensure that your image should be inside the frame. Okay, now on the upper side of the frame, on the upper layer of the frame, we have a rectangle. So here we have a shape tool. In the shape tool, we have many shapes: rectangle, line, arrow, ellipse, polygon, star, and we can place a picture or a video on a particular frame. Here we are require is normally a rectangle. So we will make a rectangle, simply drag the rectangle and release the mouse. Now to ensure that the rectangle we have provided is having a right alignment, we will use alignment option, which I have discussed here. There are many alignment options, such as if you click the left alignment, it will align left. Center alignment, for a center alignment, click on center alignment. Now we have required only a center line. So now we have to provide a color. For providing a color, first of all you should select the element that you have, that you are going to provide that you are going to provide color. For example, we have to provide a color on this rectangle. Simply click on the rectangle, and here on the right hand side, under the layers option, you have a fill. Click on the fill. Simply you will be getting many options here. You can uh, put the hex code on the on this portion. You will directly having a color what you are requiring. And or you can use the eyedropper tool. For example, if you are using the eyedropper tool, we can directly click on the illustration, and we can directly provide the color. So we will be here we are using only eyedropper tool. Now you can see you can see in the background of this rectangle, we have some effects, some shadow. So to provide a shadow, we will use a shadow effects option. In the effects option, we will having many we can use many properties of a particular element, for a particular element. For example, if you are using a drop shadow, then we can provide a shadow on the background of the particular selected element, and we can put the colors of the shadow by in our and put the alignment, put the proper blur, and we can spread the shadow. Now I will provide a simple shadow. So it's done. Now here we have some text. So to give the text, we simply select the text tool, and simply drag this text tool, and directly what we have to do is we can write here. After writing your text, ensure that in the under the text option you will be having a this portion. I have to zoom it. See this portion here. You have auto width, auto height, and fixed size. Ensure that you should select the auto width option. Now we have to provide a font style. You can use whatever font you want, but make sure that font uniformity should be there. Font uniformity does not mean that font uniformity means having a same size of font everywhere you are using, but uh, there should be a proper font size and font weight. Now here we will be using Poppins. Now we will have to provide height, font size. Under the text option, you will have many options. Simply explore them and provide whatever you want. Now, the most important part is using the shortcut tools. Now, this time we will not be going to make another text. We will directly duplicate it. For duplicating it, simply select this and press Alt. Press Alt. Then your cursor icon will get changed, and simply drag and release. Now, what are the options we are providing in our portfolio is home, about, services, projects, and contact. Home, about, services, projects, contact. Now, maybe your maybe your text look like this. You may not have the proper alignment of your text. Now simply select all the elements of your text. Simply select all of your text by holding your shift button. By holding your shift button, click all the elements that you are going to uh, align. Now, after selecting, come on the uh, alignment option. You will see an option called align vertical centers. Just simply click on it. Your every element will be aligned. Now, I don't know whether it has a proper spacing between the text or not. So, at the last, we will see distribute horizontal spacing. Simply click on it. I hope you all are doing well. So now, can you tell what are the plugins that we which one of the plugin we are required for providing a sample image or sample text? Did you anyone of you know about the plugin that I have used for providing a sample image or sample text? What were the plugin? I think you don't. That was content reel. So we have to provide a sample image here. Hmm. For providing a sample image, first of all, we should have a proper elements that on which we will be going to put a sample image. Now, first of all, we will make a circle. For making a circle, ensure that if you, now first of all, if you simply select on the ellipse tool and simply drag and drop, you may have improper height and width. For making a perfect circle, ensure that your shift button should be pressed. Now I will be going to make a circle by holding shift button. Then we will get a proper circle. Now, for importing the plugin, you can have two options. Either you right click on the element and see the plugin option and go to manage plugins, or you can have another option on the right side of text tool. Here you have components plugin widgets. Simply click on plugins and type content reel. And simply run it. Now, before before having an image on the particular element, ensure that your element should be selected. Now go to image section and by your choice you can put any image you want. For example, I have been putting some images of avatars here, or any other image that I want, maybe this. Now you can see around this circle we have a small stroke. So to provide a stroke, whatever I said was, under the fill you have a stroke option. You can click on the stroke, it will get automatically applied to your element, selected element. Before providing any properties to any element, ensure that your element should be selected. Now here we can customize the width of the stroke. Now here we can put some colors, or linear colors, radial maybe, or solid colors, whatever you want. Now here I have provided some text. We can directly copy it. What was the text was, I am Arif, a UI UX designer. You can put your text according to your profession. Now we will provide some uh, font weight to our font to make it look good, and we will directly adjust the size. Now for adjusting the size of any element, we will be having two options. For text, it is a different case to provide it a font size. For example, if you are providing a size of this text, you can adjust it from here. You can simply adjust it from here, or you can simply uh, select this move option and click on the arrow option. You will be having a scale. Simply click on the scale and scale the image, scale the element that you want. But if you are going to scale by clicking on the move option, you cannot actually scale the element that you want. So here we have some other text. We will directly copy and use it. Hello. Here I am not giving an idea about what are the contents you should put on your portfolio. I am only providing you the idea how to make a UI. You can put your content in your uh, portfolio according to you. Now we will for optimizing the UI of our interface, we can adjust the colors. Adjusting color is more important, because if someone opens your profile, so you should know what you want to first the what you want the user first focuses on. If you see this UI, what the user first focuses on, the user first focuses on the text, I am Arif, a UI UX designer. Second, the user will focus on the navigation bar that I have provided. So according to this, you should provide the font size, font weight, font color, everything according to it, what the user wants. You should know what the user want and what the user will see when first see your website. Now we will be having some social media connects. Simply alt. The another shortcut that we are going to discuss is shift. By the another one is shift. If you want to move this element. Now if you are moving this element, you may move, if you want to move it under this, maybe here or maybe here. But if you are randomly holding the element and putting it somewhere, you did not have a proper alignment of that particular element. So you will have to use a shortcut tool called, we will be using shift option. Simply click on the shift and drag and drop. For sliding the element horizontally or vertically, we will use shift. Now if you are copying it and using it under it, by preserving the alignment of this text, we will simply uh, select the element, click on shift, and click on alt and click on shift, and simply drag and drop here. Now follow me on. So the work of text is almost over for this UI. Now here we will be using some icons. There are two options. You can directly import the icons from the Google, or you can use plugin. The most easiest way to put the icons is plugin. So what were the plugin that were used to put the brand content of any particular company? Did you have any idea? That was brand fetch. Now run this plugin. Now we can put social media icons of some brands here. Every brand, you will see almost every brand are present here. So what we will be having: Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you want, such that we have a brand. We should have the icon of Instagram. We will directly write here and search to get the icon. In many formats you can get the icons, for example in SVJ, PNG, and almost it it may be in SVJ or PNG. So simply drag and drop here. So the another one is LinkedIn. Or maybe Facebook. Simply drag and drop. The advantage of using the SVJ file is we can simply change the color of that particular icon if it is in SVJ format. So now we will select the icons. Now the icons are in very non-uniform manner. So we will use some alignment option to make it in an aligned way. So simply here you can after selecting all the icons, simply click on align vertical corners and give uniform spacing. Now to adjust the size, simply click on shift. The most important thing is here also, the use of shift is, if you are changing the size by preserving the dimension, you should have to hold the shift option. For example, if I randomly change the size, the dimension of the particular icon may be changed, but if you click on the shift option, your dimension will be preserved. Now adjust the size in whatever way you want. Now what I've said, that there is an advantage of using SVG file. You can directly change the color of the SVG file in the Figma directly. So by selecting this, maybe for example, we have to change the color of the Instagram icon. Simply select it and go to selection colors and change it. Here also change it. Now the first portion is almost completed. Here the another portion is about me. What is required here? A rectangle. Here we do not require the square, so we did not hold the shift button. Simply drag this. To align it, we will select the center align. Now the another thing that I was discussing was to provide to do not provide the sharp corners on your UI, because maybe the sharp corners may affect the your optimization of UI. So we will provide some corner radius here. There are two options to provide corner radius. After selecting the particular element that you want to change the in which you want to change the corner radius, you will see a circle here, a small circle. Simply drag it inside along the center of the element. The another option to provide the corner radius is this, that I have mentioned in our PPT. I hope you get the idea about what we are going to do. Simply provide some magnitude. Maybe you can provide more. Now here you can see the shadow effect around it. The shadow effect provided in effects option. Simply click on the effects, it will directly apply the drop shadow. By default it will provide drop shadow. In case you want to add inner shadow, layer blur, background blur, you can provide it. Now we can change the color of our shadow. Here I think we did not require very much blur. Now you can provide some x direction of shadow and y direction of shadow, and the color of the shadow, I want to give the color of the shadow like this, and reduce the opacity of the color. Now here we have a stroke. For providing a stroke, what I have discussed was to simply click on the stroke, it will directly apply a stroke. We will put magnitude 2 and set some color. Now we want the area to be white. simply select provide. Now the another plugin that we are going to use is Unsplash. What does Unsplash do? Do you have any idea? Anyone of you know? So Unsplash, what does Unsplash going to do? Unsplash provide you a wide variety of high resolution images directly into your Figma. So to provide a particular image to your element, first of all you should select the element. Here our element is selected, and we will directly search Unsplash and simply run it. Here we can put a random images. The images you can put. I am only discussing about how to use the tools, how to use the plugins, and related to this. For example, if you want to provide the web page UI of any design, UI, simply click on UI and select. Ensure that your element should be selected before providing the image on the element. So click on the image that you want. It will directly automatically get applied. Now we have to provide some corner radius. Now the text, simply press Alt and drag and drop here. Now the another important thing is the layers. In Figma you have or in any designing software you have layers. For example, in a particular UI you may have some layers. Layers means, for example, your text uh, your text or your element may be in the, you may know about z index if you know HTML or CSS. So it is like that, you have some layers. So here our rectangle layer is up of the text that we have used. For example, we have text and it is under the rectangle element. So to uh, to see it, to make it on the upper layer of the rectangle, we should simply click on Control Shift and write big bracket. Here our element is on the upside of rectangle. Now we can change the color to make it visible. See this. We will adjust the font weight. Now what was the plugin that we are going to use for providing sample text on a particular text, selected text? Do you have any idea? Have anyone? That was content reel. Now simply select a text before providing a sample text and go to text. You have lorem ipsum. Click on it and it will directly applied on your text. So now the font uniformity is very bad here. So we will adjust the size, font weight of this and the alignment of this particular font. See this. We have another option, download CV in our portfolio. You can put many options as you want. Simply make a rectangle and provide it corner radius of around 300. Provide it a color. Ensure that your color uniformity should be maintained. Provide it some text. Simply we will be going to drag and drop and apply the text. Drag here, change the color, set the font weight like this. We can adjust the drop shadow as well. Now we have services portion. Now our work will be now easier. I hope you can easily make this services portion. I'm going very fast because we have a time limit also. Services, under the services we have another text what we can do. Now here we will be requiring a square. For making a square, we should have to maintain the dimension of height and width. The height and width of a particular element should be maintained. To maintain the height and width of the particular element, we will use shift button. By holding the shift, make the rectangle. You will automatically get a square. Now to copy it, what we can do is click on Alt and Shift and drag it. Another time, select it, provide proper spacing between them. Now provide some small portion of corner radius, a small portion of stroke, provide a proper color of stroke. I think we have to increase the size. Now the another plugin that we are going to use was, what was the plugin to you for the icons? Do you have any idea? Anyone? It was material design icon. Material design icon. Simply run it. You will get a wide variety of icons here. Here I am using only a sample icon. You can use by your choice. Only a sample icon I am using here. Maybe this. Now simply drag and drop. You can notice all the icons are in the SVG format. And what were the advantage of using SVG format element is we can change the color as in a whatever way we want. For example, by selecting all the icons, we can directly change the color like this. Adjust the size and provide it a proper alignment. Now again we have to provide some sample text. For providing a sample text, what were the plugin? What were the plugin? Anyone have any idea? It was content reel. So I'm not going to use that plugin again. Simply drag, copy and paste. Here you can adjust the color, adjust the alignment. For providing alignment of every element that you want is, first of all you should select all the element, simply click on align vertically. It will get automatically aligned. I am providing only a sample text. And adjust the color. Now simply select those both of the text and click on alt and then click on shift and simply drag and drop horizontally into the another portion. Now the another shortcut that we are going to use is control D. The what does control D do? Control D repeats your previous process. For example, what we have previously processed, uh, copying and pasting the elements means duplicating the element in a proper eh, at some particular distance. So if you press Ctrl D, it will automatically repeats your previous process. Now this portion is, I think, almost get completed. You can adjust the color. I think I have to adjust some colors, maybe this. So we have another portion called projects. Simply make a rectangle, provide it a color. You can adjust the color from here. The another option was you have some uh, pre-made colors under in the last portion, or you can provide the hex code, RGB code, CSS code, HSL code, HSB code, what you want. Or you can simply, what I've said, use eyedropper tool. So the color code is 5D6B7E. 5D6B7E. You can use this color. Now we have a text called project. If you felt that your layer is under some element and you want to make it visible, simply uh, simply select the element, click on the Control, Shift and the right big bracket. These three options, these three buttons simultaneously when you press, your layer will be on the top portion of your frame. Now we will be going to drag and drop the images. I have provided a link in which I have provided you three images. Called, one of them is called BG, another is UI1 and another is UI2. The UI1 and UI2 is these both images of the UI. So we will adjust the alignment. Provide it some text, maybe web design. Here we will be having some of our web designs. Change the size, maybe font weight, provide some options, maybe arrow, change the color, set the width. Now you can see I have provided a effect on this particular frame or image. To provide to provide some effects, where we will have to go, we will have to go on the effects portion. In the effects portion, I have already discussed about drop shadow. Simply provide a drop shadow and provide it a proper blur. Provide a proper blur, or you can spread your shadow. Now simply select both these elements and click on Alt and Shift and simply drag and drop here. By pressing Alt you can duplicate, and by pressing Shift you can provide a horizontal sliding, horizontal or vertical sliding. Here we will be having app designs. Now the last portion is contact. Adjust the color, type the text. Now here you can see I have used some text with some uh, shapes. So provided some stroke, adjust the stroke color. Provide some another text, write your query maybe. Adjust the size by clicking on K. If you simply click the K, you will you can select the scale option and simply press shift and scale your text. So maybe this, we will be providing some placeholders. Adjust the size. And adjust the colors. Name, another data that you can take, maybe contact, phone number, or maybe their email, or uh, maybe you can take some description of query. Here we will be having a submit button. We will provide some corner radius, provide some proper colors, provide it a proper spacing, and use some proper fonts. By providing it a proper color of font, provide font weight, and at last submit. Now almost 90% of your work is done. The another feature of the Figma that we are going to use is masking. So maybe in the material design icon plugin you may not get your uh, icon in a way, in a format that you want. Maybe it get in a PNG format, JPG format, not in SVG format. And that what we have discussed about the advantage of using SVG format, it is we can change the color. But if you import the PNG or JPG file, you cannot directly change the color of your particular element. So by using masking, we can change the color of PNG images. Now we will run this plugin and try to get this icon, online support. See, it is saying that nothing found, but in the last portion you can see some of the icons appear directly. You can directly drag and drop it. I have dragged it, adjust the size. Now here I have provided automatically it is in I think a black color with some shade, but I have to change the color of this PNG file. So what I will do is masking. For a masking you should have at least two elements. We will be having another element called maybe rectangle. So simply select both elements. For changing this, for changing the color, you should ensure that your element that you want to change the color is behind the rectangle. Select both the elements, and here you will see a mask. Use a mask, click on it. Now the rectangle that you have chosen, by changing the color of that rectangle you can change the color of your icon. For example, I have to change it in a red. See, the red color appears in a black, in white. The way you want, you can change it. Now I hope you got a very well idea about masking and tools, properties. By changing the properties, providing effects, providing using proper font. You have wide variety of font in Figma, and using some important plugins such as Unsplash, Content Reel, Material Design Icon, and many more plugins that you will be exploring on your designing journey. Ensure that explore it. When you explore it, your skills of designing will get improved day by day. The most important thing that I want to discuss is getting an idea about elements. For example, using proper font, using proper color, providing proper spacing, providing uniformity. It does not mean that getting an idea about all the things, uh, all the plugins, all the tools, all the effects, it is not necessary that you will become a UI UX designer. For becoming a UI UX designer, you should have to practice. The more you practice, the more your skills will be improved day by day. So I am ending the hands-on session, and uh, Anuj, another UI UX designer of a design company DesCo, will share some ideas about uh, freelancing and about UI UX designing. So Anuj.
So thank you, Arif, for giving some importance hands-on session, and thank you so much, Mitali, also. And I hope you are all through together and you have seen how to use Figma, how to what is UI, what is UX, and how to make a UI. You have made a portfolio with Arif sir. So there are many websites. The most important thing is कि हम इसे earn कैसे कर सकते हैं. तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट तो यही है ना कि भाई सीख लिया आप earn कैसे करें इससे. तो द थिंग इज कि मैं कुछ कुछ चीज़ें आपको बताता हूँ. तो जैसे एक पोर्टफोलियो बनाया, अब इस पोर्टफोलियो को हम एक प्रोफेशनल वेबसाइट पे मतलब इसको आप लोग जैसे बना रहे हो. और एक बात मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, सब लोग हमारे सर भी बोलते हैं कि फिग्मा चलाना सीखना या यूआई यूएक्स बनाना सीखना बहुत आसान है, बट एक ऐसा अच्छा यूआई बनाना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, क्योंकि उसके लिए क्रिएटिविटी चाहिए और वो आप सीखते 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 आपके पास आ जाती है. तो जैसे कुछ कुछ वेबसाइट्स अपन देखते हैं यहीं पे ही. एक तो है Behance. हमारे जैसे ही डिज़ाइनर्स यहाँ पर अपना कंटेंट छोड़कर जाते हैं, हम इनसे इंस्पिरेशन ले सकते हैं, सीख सकते हैं, हम अपना पोर्टफोलियो बनाकर यहाँ पर रख सकते हैं और उससे हमें प्रोजेक्ट्स मिल सकते हैं, हम उससे फ्रीलांसिंग कर सकते हैं। देखो, एज ए UI UX डिज़ाइनर पैसा कमाने का सबसे आसान तरीका है बी अ फ्रीलांसर। और स्टार्टिंग में जब आप फ्रीलांसिंग कर रहे हो तो वहाँ पर आपको चार्ज नहीं करना है, बिकॉज यू आर एट अ लो लेवल। आप उसमें स्टार्टिंग में अपना पोर्टफोलियो रखें और उसमें एक रेटिंग सिस्टम होता है। तो जैसे ही आपकी रेटिंग बढ़ने लगेगी, आपके पास अपने आप कस्टमर्स आते जाएंगे, लोग आपको अपने आप ढूंढते जाएंगे, बिकॉज वी ऑल वर्क ऑन अ रेटिंग सिस्टम। जिसका रेटिंग अच्छा है एंड ऑब्वियसली ही और शी इज़ द बेस्ट। तो एक ये बी हैंड्स है और ड्रिबल भी है। आप यहाँ पर अपना पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट जो भी आरिफ सर ने बनाया वैसा आप कुछ अच्छा बनाकर यहाँ रख सकते हैं और लोग आपको ढूंढेंगे और आपसे अपना काम करवाना चाहेंगे। और इसके स्कोप की बात करें तो, और सबसे बेस्ट फ्रीलांसिंग के लिए वेबसाइट है, आई थिंक एक फीवर करके एक वेबसाइट है, दिस this is the best. I personally suggest this and Upwork. Fiverr and Upwork, these are the best freelance services websites for any domain and we all work here. तो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर आप अपनी प्रोफाइल बनाए, स्टार्टिंग में अगेन सेम फ्री में काम करें, बहुत ही मिनिमल कॉस्ट होती है। जैसे UI डिज़ाइनर जो प्रोफेशनल होते हैं ना, वो बहुत ही अगर अच्छे लेवल पे हैं तो काफ़ी सारे जैसे $25 $50 भी चार्ज करते हैं, बट स्टार्टिंग में हमें फ्री में काम करना है ताकि हम एक्सपीरियंस गेन कर सकें, ताकि हम प्रोजेक्ट्स ले सकें, ताकि हम अपनी रेटिंग बढ़ा सकें। फीवर है और एक और मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, अपवर्क्स। ठीक है, अगेन ये एक और वेबसाइट है, अपवर्क्स। दिस इज ऑल्सो अ गुड वेबसाइट फॉर फ्रीलांसिंग। एंड उसके बाद आप लोग लिखते जाइए बार बार, आई थिंक सेशन एंड होने के बाद आपको ये सब नाम मिले, एक बार लिख लीजिए, फीवर, अपवर्क्स। एक और मैं बता देता हूँ, रेड बबल। रेड बबल देखिए, ऑसम प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन्ड बाय इंडिपेंडेंट आर्टिस्ट। ये सब वेबसाइट्स फ्रीलांसिंग के लिए यूज की जाती है। ठीक है, Itsy, 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 it is also a good website. Itsy ये भी आप यूज कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, और एक और है Itsy में, हाँ तो ये जैसे Itsy में आप देख सकते हैं कि हमारे सीनियर्स का काम है, ये सब बनाया हुआ है। बेस्ट सेलर्स में हमारे सीनियर्स का है, ये सब हैंडमेड बनाया हुआ है। हमारे सीनियर्स का आयुष सर है हमारे, तो उनके सब बनाए हुए हैं। आप देखिए, आप भी जब सीखने के बाद ये सब बनाकर आप यहाँ पर पोस्ट कर सकते हैं एंड आप इसका प्राइजेस देख सकते हैं। इट हैज डन लाइक दे आर द बेस्ट सेलर्स ओवर हियर। मतलब ये फ्रीलांसिंग से चीज़ें हैं कि एग्जांपल है हमारे आयुष सर और हम लोग सब कि 6 फिगर्स तक आप अर्न कर सकते हैं। दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी लाइक, इतना आसान नहीं है, बट हाँ सीखने के बाद देखिए आप, ये कितना मिनिमल आर्ट है, इतना सिंपल ही तरीके से बनाया गया है। और एक और वेबसाइट है, मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ, इट्सी में क्या, ओके, एक और चीज़ मैं आपको, ओके ये देखिए, ये है उनका ऑफिशियल, आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं हमारे सीनियर्स का वर्क्स। ये हमारे आयुष शर्मा सर, ठीक है, ओनर है इस स्टूडियो के। तो देखिए ये उनका बना, ये उनकी पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट है। अभी आपने एक पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट बनाना देखा, दिस इज अ प्रोफेशनल पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट। एंड अब ये देखिए, है, देखिए ये उनके वर्क्स है और ये सेल्स देखिए उनकी, आप देख सकते हैं ये दिस इज द पावर ऑफ फ्रीलांसिंग। 6 फिगर अर्नर किसे कहते हैं? 4805 सेल्स इन एन टोटल। आप इनके प्रोडक्ट्स का प्राइस देखिए और ये सब हैंडमेड है और बहुत ही मतलब सीखने के बाद ना ये सब चीज़ें बनाने में ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता। इट्स ऑल अबाउट योर क्रिएटिविटी। जितना जितना आप सीखते जाएंगे उतना जल्दी जल्दी आप ये सब मतलब आराम से बना सकते हैं। एंड उसके बाद और कुछ वेबसाइट्स है, अपवर्क्स बता दिया, फीवर बता दिया। एंड स्टार्टिंग में अगेन आपको फ्री में काम करना है, लाइक $1 फ्रीलांसिंग में वही आपको फ्री में काम करना है एकदम एग्जैक्टली। एक और वेबसाइट है शायद freelancer.com, इट इज़ ऑल्सो अ ग्रेट वेबसाइट। आप ये सब नोट कर लीजिए। देखिए हायर फ्रीलांसर, हायर द बेस्ट फ्रीलांसर फॉर एनी जॉब ऑनलाइन, वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट फ्रीलांसर मार्केट प्लेस। तो दिस इज ऑल्सो अ ग्रेट प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर यू कैन वर्क एज अ फ्रीलांसर। और इसका स्कोप भी आप सोच कर देखिए, हर आज छोटी से छोटी कंपनी, छोटी से छोटी चीज़ें भी हैं तो वो भी चाहती है कि उनका एक प्रोफेशनल वेबसाइट हो जहाँ से यूज़र्स कांटेक्ट करें। आप नॉर्मल अच्छी शॉप्स का भी आपको वेबसाइट्स मिल जाएगी। तो हर जगह यूआई यूएक्स डिज़ाइनर्स की ज़रूरत है, स्टार्टअप्स में बहुत ज़रूरत है। लोग फुल टाइम यूआई यूएक्स डिज़ाइनर्स की तरह भी काम करते हैं और बहुत अच्छा खासा अर्न कर सकते हैं। तो दिस इज़ अ वेरी इमर्जिंग फील्ड और इस तरीके से मतलब और भी चीज़ें आप देख सकते हैं। एंड और कुछ अगर वेबसाइट मुझे याद आए तो मैं बताता हूँ आपको।
When you write, your tone influences how readers respond. With Grammarly, just highlight your text and type how you want to sound. Get your message right every time.
ओके एंड तो और मैं कुछ चीज़ें छूट रहे थे, मैं बता देता हूँ आपको। और हाँ, तो मैं बता रहा था जैसे एक चीज़ और है, अगर मैं दिखाऊँ आपको। वेट अ मिनट गाइस, जस्ट कोई और वेबसाइट तो नहीं छूट रही थी, मैंने कुछ सब बता दिया है। ठीक है, BNS हो गया, ट्रिपल HC के फीवर। हाँ, और आप अपनी प्रोफाइल्स में भी इसे मेंशन कर सकते हैं, जैसे लिंक्डइन इज़ अ वेरी ग्रेट पॉइंट। आप वहाँ से आपको अपने कस्टमर्स मिलने लग जाएंगे। ठीक है, लिंक्डइन से भी आप देख सकते हैं। लिंक्डइन तो आप मोस्ट ऑफ आई गेस आप लोग जानते ही होंगे। यहाँ पर अपनी प्रोफाइल बनाकर देख सकते हैं और यहाँ से भी आपको कस्टमर्स मिलते चले जाएंगे। जॉब्स में आप देख सकते हैं यूआईएक्स डिज़ाइनर्स के बारे में। आप जैसे मान लीजिए देखिए यूज़र एक्सपीरियंस डिज़ाइनर की अब है। अब यहाँ पे देखिए आप इतने सारे प्रोफाइल्स आ रही है, तो यहाँ से लोग आपको हायर भी करेंगे एंड फ्रीलांसिंग के लिए भी, पार्ट टाइम के लिए भी, फुल टाइम के लिए भी। इट इज़ अ ग्रेट ऑप्शन। बट अगेन मैं हमेशा एक बात बोलता हूँ कि फिग्मा सीखना बहुत आसान है और फिर यूआईएक्स डिज़ाइनर बनना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल, बिकॉज टूल्स बहुत कम है और क्रिएटिविटी बहुत ज़्यादा। लाइन टूल से ही हम लोग बहुत चीज़ें बना सकते हैं। और कुछ जैसे कि ये देखिए, अब अभी हमने 1 घंटे में जो बनाया है वो देखिए। अब ये देखिए बहुत ही सिंपल तरीके से क्या सर ने सिर्फ एक पेंट ब्रश का यूज़ कर लिया आई की तरह। स्टूडियो फॉन्ट्स एक बहुत ही मतलब हमारी गलतियाँ हर बार फॉन्ट्स में निकलती है। एंड ये देखिए दिस अ वेरी मिनिमल आर्ट डिज़ाइन जिसके बेस्ट सेलर देखिए आप, हमारा कस्टम डॉग 1 लाइन आर्ट हमारा बेस्ट सेलर है। और देखिए सारे आइटम्स हैं यहाँ पे। टोटल सेल्स का फिगर देखिए आप 4805। एडमायर्स देखिए। तो इस तरह से धीरे 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 सीखते 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 सब चीज़ें एकदम नॉर्मल लगने लगती है। कुछ बचा है? ओके, ठीक है तो सर एंड थैंक यू सो मच गाइस कि मतलब आप लोगों ने इतना टाइम तक जुड़े रहे। और थैंक यू सो मच from the official design team of NIT Patna Design Company, and thank you from in the behalf of NIT Patna एंड सर कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
So, I'm Samir Chaudhary, the current chairperson of design company NIT Patna. So, I would like to be thanking all of my juniors for taking this session and also thanking you all for joining this session. And thanks to the people who have come here physically. Clap for them. कम से कम कोई तो आया है. So, I hope इस सेशन से तुम लोगों को कुछ सीखने मिला होगा और आगे भी हम लोगों के और सेशंस होंगे both in offline and online. And soon we'll be having another session that will be related to digital arts and graphic designing, जो कि ये स्पेसिफिक चीज़ों को कवर करेगा कि आप कैसे इस तरह की चीज़ें बना सकते हैं और इस तरह से आप मार्केट में किस तरह आप मतलब बेसिकली फ्रीलांसिंग के ऊपर और एक मास्टर क्लास है. सो नेक्स्ट सेशन के अंदर हम लोग डिजिटल आर्ट को कवर करेंगे, ग्राफिक्स को कवर करेंगे और आप किस तरह से इसके थ्रू कमा सकते हैं. सो आई होप आप लोग आगे हम लोगों के साथ जुड़ेंगे इन सेशंस में. थैंक यू वेरी मच.